Deny the evidence of your physical senses when they run contrary to your metaphysical desires, because metaphysical energies always precedes physical presence exponentially. You have to understand something. Your five senses are going to observe what I call false evidence, because this world will not show you your dreams in the hopes that you become discouraged and disconnect yourself from your higher self and the manifestation process, which only leaves you one alternative option to plug right back into the system. This is where you get it wrong. Just because you can't see something does not mean it does not exist. I always use the wind as an example. I always use sound as an example. And I always use your thoughts as an example. You can't see the wind, but it's there. You can't see sound, but it's there. And you can't see your thoughts, but they are there. So you just have to know that you already are these things and you already have these things, no matter what this place shows you. Granted, sometimes the divine plan takes a really freaking long time. And sometimes it seems like things aren't working out for you. But when your plans are collapsing and you're trying to do something and all you're encountering is blockages and obstacles and complications and resistance, it has nothing to do with you. Don't forget, the universe is working in your favor as well. But the universe is attempting to tell you you're going down the wrong road. We have a better way if you just be patient. But sometimes that patience is tested because don't forget, we're not here for 100 million years. You only have 70 years at best. The universe can wait forever because the universe doesn't acknowledge time. Time is an illusion. So you have to understand, in this finite, limited form called the body, in this fleeting experience called life on planet Earth, you're only given a certain amount of time. And how much time you have is actually spent on something of a quality nature. Not too much. Minus, let's say you have 250,000 hours of life on Earth. How much of it do you spend sleeping, in the shower, waiting on a line? Things like that just suck up your time. How much do you have to really invest in and spend in something quality, moving towards something you want to accomplish in your life? Not really that much. So that's what I say. Sometimes it's not even a matter of not being patient enough. It's just like, listen, I don't have forever here. So that's what really frustrates people with this. They want instant. And in some ways, I don't blame them because, you're not here forever. When you get used to that instant society, you expect everything to be instant, but the universe doesn't work like that. So that's where your resistance comes from. And now you're in conflict with something that you should be in harmony with. That's the inherent dilemma. So what you do is you just surrender the need to control by not allowing your ego to be the governing body and the dominant force in your life. By transmuting the ego into becoming an ally, not a nemesis and an enemy. You make your life a whole lot better by facilitating the transfer from where you are to where you want to be, not fighting it. In order for you to garner your dreams, you have to be willing to embrace the fact that some things are out of your control, that you can't change, that you have no ability to affect, modify, repair, replace the outcome of these things. So that's the ego being forced to surrender and abdicate the throne of lunacy. That is the total control over your life. Because you have to say to yourself, I'm going to be in control, not the egocentric darkness. Because the ego is a conduit through which the darkness just contaminates your imagination with fear and just fills your mind with lies and illusions and games. That's their way in. It's the ego. So there it is. But just teach yourself, no matter what this place shows me, I'm going to stick it out. I'm going to persevere. I'll be diligent. I am just determined. I will not be deterred. I will not be dissuaded or coerced. I will not be diverted or deviated from my course and my direction. I will not be distracted from my focus. I'm going to make this happen, and I'm going to work in partnership with the universe. This is what you call being a co-creator, because there's some things you can't do on your own. Truth be told, you're not doing anything on your own. Source is helping you the whole time, but I'm just saying, as far as you feel that you're doing these things on your own, like you set up this, you did that, universe was there the whole time. But to consciously surrender the need to control and the power of it, it's rough, especially when you're used to being the one in control. That's not an easy thing, because now you're saying, okay, now you have to give that control to something even more powerful than yourself, And that it takes a gigantic leap of faith. And the ego isn't going to do that. It's going to be like, forget this. I'm not doing this. I'm not giving up anything. I don't care who it is. And it's going to fight to the very last step. And it's going to go kicking and screaming. So, you're going to basically have to transmute it or neutralize it altogether. But you can't kill the ego. That's impossible because you can't kill energy. The ego is it's a metaphysical element of a prehistoric time long gone in your primitive, early developmental stages as a hominoid, a bipedal hominoid. It's still there. That's why, like they say, underneath all of these social pleasantries, you're just running on caveman software. It's the truth. And unfortunately, sometimes that caveman software gets you into some seriously deep trouble as far as the manifestation process works. So you got to recognize these elements when they pop up and they start to rear their ugly head and try to complicate things, like be a wrench in the works. You got to say, listen, I just want this to flow. So I'm just in acceptance that there's some things I control, some things I can't. I accept it and I just love it in the light and let it go. And that's the best course of action more often than not with situations like this. I thought you might want to know.